on that line, on the goal line, off this line, this line, let's score line, let's score line.
Back another week here in the Freedom Studios.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you had a big game against Woodbridge, 45-7.
Yes.
Talk to me about the game a little bit.
It was, early on, I thought they tried to do a good job coming out trying to establish some type of running game. Once we settled in, we stopped them on like a 4th and goal. That was pretty much it offensively for them the rest of the night. They scored on our quarterback, Quest. He just had a Quest moment, which he hasn't had in a long time.
The Kirk Cousins moment?
Yeah, he just dropped the snap, hit him right in his hands. Then, trying to pick it up, he dropped it again. And then Sample picked it up, scored, pointed at the sideline. They were high on energy. They was winning at that point 7-6. We had scored. But, again, man, it's, big game because of the rivalry stuff, but football-wise, we've handled it, handled them pretty, convincingly the last 4 times. You know what I mean? So, it was a good game. Shoot, Quest almost broke records.
Right.
Anytime your offense can throw over 451 yards and you have close to 700 yards total offense. I was really impressed, and I've been telling you like weekly, our run game is finally getting to where I thought it should have been. And that's the up front guys. We got 2 sophomores that's getting better every week, Makai Ramirez and Aiden Longoria. And as they're getting better, and then it's getting in. And our running back, JT, is running. He's running through arm tackles and stuff. We talked about this. So I was impressed with that. But, again, good atmosphere at Woodbridge for football always. Their fans out there cheering them on. It's, always, good atmosphere. But again, we've handled what we had to do, the last 4 times, and we did it again.
All right, so you talked about JT a lot last week.
Yep.
But one guy we haven't really talked about this year, and I've kind of been holding it off on purpose, but Nigeria. He's as good of a corner as you're going to find in the area.
Well, Nigeria is not just the area, just in the state, bro. So Nigeria is, like this week, we can match him up on whoever, man to man. We matched him up on their best guy. He had 2 picks. The other guy didn't get a catch.
Right.
Not only is he very talented as far as from a DB standpoint, athletic, good hip transition, in and out of breaks. He's instinctive. The other thing I like about Nigeria is, again, he understands the game. So if we're in zone, he understands route concepts. If we're in man, he understands different man techniques based on down and distance, all that stuff. So he does a good job. And then, on offense, he's a leader in the receiver. In the area and receiver, touchdowns. He's crafty, runs good routes. Understands spacing and stuff like that. So again, he's just a very smart football IQ guy, regardless. And like I said, on defense, he's been what he's always been. He's he's the best, one of the best corners in the state. You know what I mean? He's just one of those kids. He may not have the measurables you want, and he may not have, some of the, like you said, combine stuff you want, but he like a Brent Grimes. He's just good. You know what I mean? You can't put your finger on it all the time. He's just good.
No, and I'm glad you started talking about how smart he was, because the other thing is he's always smiling, and it's got to be annoying for guys going against him. Well, I tell you, a couple weeks ago, we talked about the referees in the game a couple weeks ago and all that stuff. But I thought he did a good job. He kind of settles guys down sometimes. I think he's a special kind of leader in that way, where he just kind of does things and he has a personality that people kind of follow with it.
Agreed. And to be honest, he get a lot of that from his dad. I known his dad since I was in the 7th grade. He's one of the first people I met when I moved to this area. His dad was the same way, smiled all the time.
Yeah.
Fierce competitor, and Nazir's the same way.
Yeah.
But he's been doing a good job, again, being a senior leader, he has, and he's a kid that watched a lot of film. The crazy thing is, like you said, he's always laughing. So this week, they were getting a lot of trash talk from not only the kids on the Woodbridge sideline, but adults, whoever it may have been, coaches or not, whoever was on his sideline.
Right.
And one play, in between plays, I heard Nazir laughing across, because he got this distinct screech laugh, and I heard him laughing at whatever they were saying. And, like you said, kids like that can stay in the game, And that's why I always tell people, it's tough playing corner on the other people's sideline.
Right.
Like when you're on our sideline, when the field's flipping, you're on your own team's sideline, everything's gravy, you feel safe. But when you're over there and they can heckle you and do all that type of stuff that happens, everywhere in America, but like I said, he handles that stuff well. And again, he's been a good leader for us, as a bunch of those guys in that class have been.
Yeah. You get through that, you got your conference games, your district games, whatever they're calling them now. You got those still coming out to close out the season. But through a couple of big rivalry games, you got those out of the way right now. Coming out of this week, what do you want to look at for your team to focus on moving forward?
Well, again, I thought this past week our special teams was horrendous, which have been really good for us. Our extra points, we missed, we left 6 points out there in extra points. Kickoff team wasn't good this week. We struggled covering, where we have been doing really good on our special teams. Yeah. Even our kicker, he didn't kick the ball in the end zone this week at all, where last week kicking the end zone 3 times. Mm-hmm. So our special teams, extra point, which, like I said, was shaky. We just got to clean up our special teams. And again, like you said, just continue to get better at everything. We want to continue to develop the run game. We've been very explosive. And like I said, every week we're getting better running the ball, maintaining blocks. And then, like you said, we just want to, now we want to just continue to add in our little wrinkles and stuff. Every week we've been adding little wrinkles here and there to formations, pressure packages on defense, stuff like that. So we have some new stuff. So, like you said, man, it's, we got to play Potomac, who is a down the street rival. Mm-hmm. Then you got to play Garfield, who's a team that's up and coming. Coaches got those guys, going in the right direction. They're having success, you know what I mean? So, they're building some good momentum too. And then, like you said, you got to finish with Colgan, who may not be having the best, season, but again, we got to play those guys at their place. So we got to finish that, and then, like you said, we'll let the chips fall where they may. Yeah. My guys know how important it is that we do go undefeated so that we can, hopefully stay home in the region and all that. But again, I want to win the district again. That'd be 3 of them in a row. Yeah. So that's important to us. That's the first thing you can achieve, so we want to do that first.
Okay. We talked a lot about Amari. He had a big game, a real big game.
No, he had 207.
207. You know what? Forget it. I ain't even gonna go into him. It's too much. You can talk about him all the time. All right. Well, last week we talked about Netflix and Peaky Blinders. Yep. This week I want to ask you. Obviously, I know you're a rap fan.
Of course.
Who's your favorite rapper?
Ever?
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Okay. If you had, like, I ain't even gonna ask you like pick one album, anything like that. But if you had 5 artists, I don't care if they're rappers, singers, whatever. If you had 5 artists, there was the only 5 people you could listen to for the rest of your life, who would it be?
Ooh, I'm definitely gonna go with Lil Wayne. And for all my R&B fixes, I'm gonna go with the Isley Brothers.
All right.
Then I'm gonna get it with the pop. I'm gonna get Drake. So I got, the party feel. So I'm gonna go Wayne, Drake, Isley Brothers. I'm gonna follow that up with. I'm a big DMX
All right.
from that era. So that's 4, and then the last one I probably go with the new guys now. I probably had to go with NBA YoungBoy because the kids got me on.
Yeah.
To him, he put out a lot of consistently good stuff.
Yeah.
I can ride with those 5 for forever.
That's it. All right. All right, so that one you didn't throw me off with anything then. Isley Brothers, I was a little taken, but that's all right.
You know, you gotta have
Yeah.
that. I mean, you know, Drake gonna give you a little bit R&B, but
Right.
you know, like you said, that era when they was singing about it meant something. It happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't, you know, they was getting pressured by the label. They got to put out a song. This just happened to me Thursday. You know what I mean? So you gotta have, you know, the Isley Brothers, that whole era of music. I mean, anybody you could go with, him, you know, Otis Redding, Shy Lights. I listen to that stuff all the time. Shoot, all the time. But if I had to, I gotta take them because they got a lot of them all through a long period of time. You know, all the way up until Ronald Isley still doing
always
it into the 2000s.
Yeah.
So got to.
No, I'm a big Marvin Gaye guy. Like I listen to Marvin Gaye anytime.
Yep.
But I can't get with a lot of rap today. Like I love rap, but I can't get with a lot of rap today. DMX, Redman, Wu, like have you watched the Wu-Tang show?
All the time.
Yeah.
I just watched episode 7 when Bobby Digital's album, his single was released, Rakim. So yeah, I'm into that show, big time.
So you ain't got to the Attila part yet?
Nah, I think that's 8. I think that's episode 8. I'm on the part, like you said, they giving you Method Man's backstory with lacrosse and all that type of stuff. I just finished that one, so the next one probably the one that you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, lacrosse. I think there should be more athletes, more football players, more basketball players playing lacrosse. You can get to college today playing lacrosse. Have you ever checked out any games, anything like that? Have you ever taken a look at lacrosse?
Well, crazy thing, when I was first here, when my brother was here in 2009, I was big on, both my brothers played, Joe Young played. Yeah. I got a lot of those football players to play with Coach Kapagna back there, I think his name was. Pretty sure. Same thing now. A lot of our guys play. Yeah. A lot of them. Gucci plays, Yakub. We got probably like Smokey plays. We probably got like 5 or 6 guys. So I'm like you, I pushed them toward doing that. Yeah. And you know, like I said, it's one of those sports that as growing up, you know, African American culture, you're not exposed to. Right. You kind of get exposed to basketball and football, maybe baseball here and there, but like you said, you don't really get put onto lacrosse and stuff. You know, normally now it's a lot different now because it's, you know, a lot more widespread. But heck yeah, I tell them if you're an athlete, you're an athlete. So I mean, I encourage them to try. Like I said, I'm gonna get a lot of our young kids, encourage them to go out and help our baseball team and go play baseball, and you know, try to get that program, you know, going again in the same direction. But yeah, I've been pushing kids to play lacrosse.
So your brothers play? Mm-hmm. You didn't play?
So I did my senior year at Hilton.
Really?
And that was the first year they ever had it in the county. Yeah. And was good at. Well, I thought I was good at. We thought we were good at it until we played like Robinson, people that had been doing it. We were like, okay, we're not good at it. We can be, but you know. So yeah, I did it my senior year. My like I said, my last. You know, that was the first year they had it in the county. Yeah. Yep. No,
a lot of people don't know. Like still, Jim Brown is regarded as one of the best lacrosse players that ever played the sport. Yep. But I think athletes, when you look at the sport, it takes a lot from football. It takes a lot from basketball too. I think there's a lot of similarities in basketball, just how you set up offenses and all that kind of stuff. So I just think more athletes need to play that sport.
I agree with you. Like you said, a lot of our kids do. Yeah. We push them to do it, and we've been doing that though.
Yeah. We talked about the baseball thing a couple times. Did you play baseball growing up?
Yeah. Played baseball all the way till I was a freshman at Hilton. Yeah. And JV, and then one day I was standing in the outfield and I was like, why am I out here? Nobody out here. Just stayed after school all the fall, all the winter basketball. So, but I played it all growing up. We had a really good, you know, travel team. Mm-hmm. shout out Bailey's Crossroads. We played on Bailey's Crossroads team, and we were really good. We played in the Annandale Little League, all that stuff, and we were dominant. Like, we used to beat people like 24-2.
You used to drive to go play.
Man, so what happened is, in the summers and stuff, my mom worked in that area. She worked off Seminary Road.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we went to the summer rec pack at Bailey's Community Center.
Mm-hmm.
So I be telling people all the time, like, that's where I learned how to play every sport. Like, we went there every day, and from 9 in the morning till 4, you was playing kickball, basketball, capture the flag, steal the bacon, football, anything, ping pong. You was playing everything under the sun all day. Yeah. And you were going, and at that time, that's when Rec Pack was big. Mm-hmm. Like, we used to go play against James Lee and Gum Springs and Braddock Road. We used to go compete against them in whether it was basketball, kickball, everything. So, you know, I'm a Rec Pack, Bailey's Crossroad kid. That's where I learned how to play. Yep, that's where I learned how to play most of my sports, you know, with older guys. You probably know them like, Sean Jackson, Kevin Hall, Byron Hall, Antoine. Man, who else? Lindsay, Chad, you know, Charlie Garner's family. Like, they taught me how to play basketball and stuff, and really, you know, gave me my edge probably with the football stuff because, you know, I was playing with older kids every day. Older kids that was good. Yeah. You know, those kids was, you know, those guys were good at Jeb Stewart and those places at that time in basketball, football, all that. So, you know, I'm a Rec Pack kid, man, to the end, you know, and that's all we did all day is play sports. Yeah. That's it.
All right, so one thing I want to talk to you about. The other night I was talking to somebody at a game, and you all in the area came up. The guy told me, there's no way there's that many good athletes all in that area. I told him you might want to look at it again. How often do you hear stuff like that? And please explain to people how many good athletes there are in the Woodbridge, Dale City area.
Man, it's always been like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Again, I don't care what a team record is, they down or not. You know, Prince William County has always had good athletes. You know what I mean? Everywhere you play. Yeah. Like this week, Potomac doesn't have a great record, but they got the Kaba kid and the Rakim kid who could play on anybody's team anywhere. Yeah. Both of them big, athletic, fast as I don't know what. Mm-hmm. You know, and like you said, everybody has, you know, Hilton got good athletes, record aside, Garfield, you know, Woodbridge, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's always been like that. I'm going to say this. The year my brother was here, right? Mm-hmm. My brother went to the NFL. Good athlete. You had to play against Brandon Hogan, Ryan Williams, Big Pen at Stonewall, and like, so you didn't get a break, and then you had to play Rocket. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so it's always been that way. And even like you said, if you go all the way back to when I played, my sophomore year, like, we were loaded at Hilton with guys that were good. We played against Osborne. They was terrible, but they had Elmer Holmes. He was the number one linebacker in the nation. And they weren't even, as a team, they were not good. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's always that way. We always been a very good area athlete-wise. Yeah. I think Stafford has closed the gap some. Mm-hmm. I think Stafford has the same thing. I think Fairfax is so big, it's hard to pinpoint it all the time. But they got great coaching that a lot of times, just being honest, somebody having athletes or not, they make up for it. Right. With their coaching and the things that they do, just being honest, they do. Mm-hmm. And so, like I said, our area has always been like that. I don't care what sport it is. You know, football is what we're talking about. But again, just look at all the guys playing on Saturdays right now. Yeah. Win, lose, or draw from good teams or not here, they playing. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So that's a big thing. You know what I mean? You like to see it, you know, whether it's, you know, Deshaun at Vanderbilt, you know, Deshaun Hand, Ricky Slade, you know, just endless guys, man. Donovan, you know, my guy Fuga, you know, even if it's not just D1, you know, AJ, just everywhere, bro. It's just guys, you know, from all the schools here program. And that's my big thing. It's not, you know, as good and as much success as we had, we're not the only school with college athletes in our area. And that's been my thing about everything is it's not just one place. It's our area is a great area for athletics. It has been, you know, not to speak negatively on anybody else's area.
Right. No, and I don't think people realize that is that one, our area is so big.
Yep.
Like it's so big. There's so many kids. There's so many schools. It's enormous. And when you got that many people to have as good a football as we have, like you said, all sports, but football we're talking about now, to have that many good people and players to fill up that many schools, it's ridiculous. You know, when you and I were growing up, man, nobody heard of Loudoun County. Yep. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't any. Everything stopped at the airport.
It was like, who's going out there?
No, nobody knew it. I didn't even. I couldn't name a school out there at that point. But now there's a bunch of high schools. Yep. There's good football. You talking about college players? I was just looking at William and Mary had their homecoming game yesterday. Yep. JMU, William and Mary. The two leading receivers are both Loudoun County kids. Yep. Like that. Yeah, that area is blown up. So you got guys all over the place, and I'm sorry, but there always has been, and there always going to be a ton of great athletes in Woodbridge, Dale City, in this area.
And I'm gonna tell you this, where I feel like we kind of got down a little bit these last 2 years. You know, me having my hand and imprint on the youth side is about to be super scary.
Yeah.
Again. Like, not just my organization, but looking at Tony, Darryl, and the Spartans, you know, the Warriors and Manassas, even a couple kids with Cecil Anderson in Dale City, like, and my man Joe Blunt, the American Pride. They switched from just playing Fairfax County Youth League to playing travel AYF. Yeah. Bro, it's some kids coming up in our area that's special.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to get crazy again over the next 5 years. It's some kids coming up in our area that's special, man, and it's about to be, you know, what it was, you know, what it was. I mean, what it still is, but just as a whole, you know, it's some really good kids with size, athletic ability coming up, man. And again, like I said, I've seen it at the playing against all these youth programs, seeing them. You know, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be good for a long time.
No, and I think that's a big thing too. Is I think we do a better job with youth football now than we did before in this area in Prince William County. Period, really, because you know, again, it wasn't that long ago when there was no Patriot, there was no Battlefield, there was no schools out that way. So now you got all these youth programs all over the place that pull from all these places, and I think we do a better job getting players ready for high school football in Prince William than we did before. And I think guys like you, when you have organizations like that, it influences other places. So everybody else now want to start getting better and getting better. Fairfax County been doing, you know, that kind of thing for a long time. They've been trying to get players ready and all that stuff, but it's just spreading now. When they see people like you being successful and they see other people being successful, everybody wants to try.
The main shift is, you know, I played for Braddock Road, and when you play in the Fairfax County League, you play the same teams every year, all the time. You're going to play Chantilly, you're going to play Centerville, and you just played them at 110, so when you play them at 125, it's going to be the same people. Yeah. The difference now, even Dale City, like, I came up in Dale City Sports Club where you kind of everybody went to Cloverdale Park, and you played. Now with the travel football, meaning it more like AAU as far as the travel, is now you got to go take your best and test it against Richmond best, and Maryland's best, and Virginia Beach's best. So what it do is just breed more competition. Because now you're like, okay, well, I thought my best was good enough. Here it was. But then when I went to Maryland, I got punished. Well, then I went to Virginia Beach and I got my head cracked. So now I need to get back and work at this a little more. You know what I mean? So I just think the competition of it, and now where you got to match your competition, you got to match your best, not just versus people in your area, but every region around you. You know, it just breeds, you know, more and more competition, and it just breeds you getting better because, like you said, now you not only is the competition level higher, but it takes more demand on the coaches. Now the coaches put more time into it and stuff like that. You know, when you playing in a house league, you know who you playing. You've been playing the same people the last 4 years. Now, you look on your schedule now, you playing travel, you play 3 teams from Richmond.
Yeah.
You don't know nothing about. And now, like you said, you heard they was good. It's a big deal. So I think the travel aspect of it has really raised the competition level up. And then, like I said, man, it's not just me. Not just my organization. Like I said, Tony Darrell, the Warriors, Joe Blunt, they got good organizations too. My man, and even in Fredericksburg, my man, Poole, Joe Lackey, and those guys got the Jags.
Yeah.
And you just got people taking it serious and putting its time into it. The Cougars. So everywhere you look, you're like, dang, they got a good team.
Yeah.
The thing that we pride ourselves on is just we feel like all our teams are good. We don't just got 1 or 2 good teams. You know what I mean? But like you said, man, it's a good thing for our area. It's gonna keep it and it's gonna get better. Man, remember I said that in about the next 4 or 5 years, you're gonna see some real studs, in the Prince William County area, period. Manassas here, the eastern end, you're gonna see some studs, man. Some studs.
Can't just skip over this area anymore. You can't go from the beach to DC or to Maryland anymore. You can't do that.
Nah.
Who you got coming up this week?
Potomac.
And how's it? What have you seen from them on film?
They do a good job, like I said, getting the ball in the hand of 2 athletes.
Yeah.
They got a young quarterback who is going to be, pretty talented. Got good size, does a good job throwing the ball around, got some courage and some moxie to him. Those guys always play tough. I got a lot of respect for Coach Martin. His daughter and my daughter play basketball together.
Yeah.
The D coordinator over there, Coach Abadayo, me and him play football together.
Okay.
So, we're going to mix it up. It's a rivalry just because it's down the street. It's Potomac. We want to, like I said, we want to win the district.
Yeah.
And to do that, you got to beat them, no matter what their record is. They scary because they got some explosiveness. I think they're the first team outside of Colonial Forge that's on our schedule that got the same explosiveness capability as us, in the passing game and stuff. So, it's going to be a nice challenge, nice work. We're looking forward to it.
Good, yeah. I remember one day I was out here when you were doing girls basketball thing, and I saw him out here. He, I think he went from Lee to Stewart.
Yeah.
And he came out to Potomac. No, I think it's a good thing to have somebody like him over at Potomac now.
For sure. I mean, like you said, it's I'm not gonna say the last person they had wasn't good. I had a lot of respect for Coach King, one of the best. It's just like you said, something new. You know, Coach Martin, they letting those guys have fun and get after it. So like I said, we're gonna line it up, and get after it. The thing, like I said, is I'm encouraged by the challenge. It's a new challenge for my defense.
Yeah.
They do a lot of 5 wide and stuff like that, throwing the ball. So I've been really impressed with my defense. In my box, my linebackers, Marvin, Cam, D, Jabril. Now we get to see more passing stuff this week, where we've been seeing a lot of condensed run formation, run.
Yeah.
So, we get to have a little fun and mix it up.
Good to see what they're about a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Well, good luck this week. We might be back here in the Freedom Studios next week.
Whatever, man.
All right.
All day long, on the goal line, on this line, let's go line, let's go line.